A dramatic fight in the air with regard to the Chinese and American aircraft. This is the big news that I'm breaking to you first here on the First Up. What we are bringing to you is look at how the Chinese fighter jet intercepted a US Air Force plane over the South China Sea on 26th of May. Pentagon says the Chinese pilot flew an unnecessarily aggressive maneuver directly in front of the nose of the US Air Force plane. And this, remember, is at a time when, of course, there have been increasing tensions with regard to USA and China. This was a Chinese fighter jet intercepting a US Air Force plane over the South China Sea on 26th May. When it gets intercepted, Pentagon says the Chinese pilot flew, and this is the Pentagon saying that the Chinese pilot flew an unnecessarily aggressive maneuver directly in front of the nose of the American Air Force plane. Let's quickly bring in Foreign Affairs Editor Geeta Mohan for the latest on that. Geeta, good morning. How are we looking at this sort of an interaction, so to say, between the two? Because both countries at a time when there are tensions, but importantly, this looks like literally a dramatic fight in the air.
Well, that's right. Not the first time, Pooja, that such intercepts have happened. They are oft repeated when you see U.S. military planes over the South China Sea. Although the United States of America and the Pentagon in its release, where they released the footage, not only said that it's unnecessary aggressive maneuver by the Chinese jets, but also that they were in international airspace over the South China Sea. But China does not consider it that. They claimed the entire, most of the waters of South China Sea, and any military plane or ship in those waters or over those airspace is something that China considers a violation. So yes, they have been using maneuvers that are rather aggressive, and not for the first time, but the video clearly shows, although the cockpit sounds are muted, very clearly shows that the Chinese were trying to intimidate the Americans when the military plane was transiting through the international airspace over the South China Sea.
After the spy balloon controversy, remember, Geeta, can we say that this is just an added tension into it while they're between Washington and Beijing, whether it's over Taiwan, whether it's over other issues, there have been tensions, so whether it's in diplomatic nature, on the ground, or now even in air?
Well, that's right. Although the spy balloon was a rather huge shift from in the space of reconnaissance and spying, over here this is a reconnaissance aircraft that was intercepted. Having said that, but over here it was out in the open. It was according to America, in the international airspace. But this is not the first time. In December, Pooja, a Chinese military plane came within 10 feet of a U.S. Air Force aircraft and forced it to take evasive maneuvers to avoid a collision in international airspace. This again according to the American reports. So incidents have been occurring time and again, not just in the airspace but also the waters of South China.
Geeta, just a quick reiterating this, can you just explain this visual to us in the next few seconds about what exactly happened that according to Washington this is aggressive maneuver by China?
Well, it indeed is aggressive maneuver, because coming so close to an aircraft in itself goes to show that that there was intent in intimidating, which is what was being done over here. The fact that it came so close to another aircraft in itself is a dangerous maneuver, not just unnecessarily aggressive. It's a dangerous maneuver. And if you see the visuals, you can see from the cockpit that the Chinese military jet, the J-16 aircraft, came so close and right in front of the nose of the American aircraft, and you can see the aircraft encircling the American
Very
military
interesting.
plane.
So Pentagon says this is international airspace, but for China this is a violation for an American plane to be intercepted, the manner in which it did over this area. So clearly this also shows in many ways the tensions between Washington and Beijing. For now, thank you so much, Geeta Mohan, for the latest.